Burberry is one of the most iconic names in fashion. So how did the brand lose control of everything that it stood for? The downfall of Burberry didn't happen overnight. It began in the late 90s and early 2000s when the Nova check stopped being a subtle lining and became the product itself. Caps, scarves, tracksuits, accessories, kidswear, this pattern was everywhere. And at the same time, the check was adopted by UK chav and football hooligan culture, groups already framed by British media through class stereotypes. You see, not only did Burberry become more popular, it became more policed. Pubs and clubs started banning the brand outright, not because of quality, but because wearing Burberry signaled something that bouncers and venue owners didn't want inside. Not only did Burberry lose its exclusivity, it lost control of what the brand meant. While running a luxury business, the main goal isn't only to sell product, it sells the feeling of status. And once your brand's most powerful symbol becomes a staple for a stereotype that is the opposite of your brand's vision, you lose favor with the majority of the audience. Christopher Bailey's arrival in 2001 was the first serious attempt to take control back. Burberry wasn't failing financially, it was selling plenty, but in the fashion world it had lost credibility. The problem wasn't with the Nova check itself, it was how loudly and carelessly it had been used. So Bailey pulled it back, and he reframed Burberry as culturally British in a modern way, championing British models, musicians, and creative talent. Most importantly, he rebuilt scarcity through limited runs and elevated price points. The message was clear: Burberry wasn't for everyone, and he didn't want it to be. After 17 years at the helm, Bailey's departure left a hole in the brand's direction. Under Riccardo Tisci, Burberry chased a streetwear customer. The logic made sense at the time. Logos were back, youth culture mattered. The problem is that Burberry isn't Gucci, and it certainly isn't Givenchy. The collections ultimately felt disconnected from the DNA, too street for heritage customers, but not street enough for these hype audiences. To put it plain and simple, this brand was confused. But what's changed recently is clarity. Under Daniel Lee, Burberry has stopped chasing relevance and started owning its identity again. The trench has returned as the hero, and the Nova check came back quieter, once again placing a focus on British tailoring, texture, and championing the best Britain has to offer. So no, Burberry's new rise is not about trends or spectacle, it's about reclaiming ownership over what the brand means.